Hello folks, Marcus again, bringing to you one more tutorial. This time we are going to learn how to create animated navigation bar. So come with me and see. We are going to learn how to make those interactions and also the micro interactions, the animations that each icon has. So for example, here we have the alarm selected one. And here, this is the clock one, and going ahead, the stopwatch, and finally, the last one, it's gonna be the timer selected. But much probably you didn't realize the interaction between them. So come with me again, and I'm going to show you. For example, here, this alarm, it has a little animation, a little difference between them. For example, here, this little bell, this small part over here, it's like connected, and here it's separate. And here, in case of this world clock, here these pointers, they are in different position, and here I changed them. Here the same thing, the stopwatch, which has a different format, let's say this way. And finally, this timer here we can see this, I don't remember in English the right way to call that, but it's a kind of clock, let's say this way, glass clock, something like this. And then the sand is over here, it's put here, and then it goes like dripping, not dripping, but it goes down, 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 and then the sand will be here in this bottom part. So let's see in practice. I'm going to run this prototype. So let me show my UI. Now I can select here. I don't know if you know, but Figma, it got some differences, some updates since the config. So I'm going to play this prototype, and then we can see here. So come with me and see. Keep attention in this one, alarm. When I go to the second icon, second screen, we can see these pointers, they are changed, and also this alarm one. So see, we go back and forth, back and forth. And also this little indicator, this little separator, this little divider, this little smaller bar. And going ahead, the stopwatch as well, and the timer too. So all of them, they have micro interactions. So I consider interactions the way to go to other part of the application. And of course that we have deeper explanation, but here just for a matter of understanding interaction, it's when I click and I interact with the interface. But micro interactions, micro animations, it is when we have these little pleasant moments, just like this, okay? And now we are going to learn how to create them. And also here we have just this subtitle over here, so alarm, just to identify where we are, but we don't have content here yet, but in the future, who knows? But the matter of this tutorial is just to show you how to create those animations, and then we can create your own projects. Okay, so let's do that together from the very beginning. So first things first, let me jump back to things we did before so we can speed up our process. I'm quite sure that you remember, that you remember this last tutorial. I'm quite sure about that, because I checked here all the tutorials that I do here on this channel. I have this check just to remember what I did before, since it has been, I think, almost 2 weeks that I haven't have time to record tutorials. So, and this one here, it has this timer just to remember things that I'm working on. So we did this prototype in switch buttons. I don't know if you did that, but if you didn't, I really would like to recommend you, so you can see what we did before, like switch on and switch off. Okay, pretty cool. And also the rest, if you didn't see what I have done so far, I recommend you to watch this playlist named Prototyping on YouTube. So yeah, so we are going to copy some of those screens over here. Let me switch to this prototype tab. I don't want to have any interaction, but I think that I can copy this one. So Control C. Jumping to this page. In your case, I recommend you to create a new one. I will place it here. It's gonna be enough. That's right. I will switch back to Design tab. I want to delete this component because I don't need it here. I'm gonna delete those two components as well. And then let me see what I have here, this alarm one. Let me try to find if I have some text that I can use so I don't need to type. I can copy this title from here. Control C, I come back here. So I can select the frame, Control V. I can align like this. I can measure like, I don't like to have broken numbers like this. So I will remove. So 24, 27, let me go with 24 here too. Then I will increase its size, the width. Then I will go like minus 24 so I can have this right spacing. This word is going to be alarm for the first screen. I'm going to go with poppins, medium, 16. It's going to be pretty well. So the first part we already have. Now what we can do is play with this little indicator. So here I didn't name it correctly, but in our case we are going to do this. So there are many ways to have this indicator. I'm gonna call indicator. I'm showing you just one way of doing this. So in the future you can do the way you want. You discover your own way. You can create new ones. You can follow what I do. So this first screen I'm gonna call menu alarm, just for a matter of facilitate our way of locating things. I'm gonna press Control D so we can duplicate. This one here I'm gonna call menu clock. I'm copying and pasting in my case because I did that before. I have this reference, you don't. So you need to type. And now we are going to have the last screen, Control D, G, G, A, B, C, D, okay? Timer is going to be the last one. And also it's important to change his subtitle. So this one, it is timer. Now we have stopwatch. We also have world clock. And the first one, oops, I'm sorry. The first one is going to be alarm, just like this. So we have the base, the structure. So now it's time to work on the icons. So I can press and hold Alt, so I can move like this, making a copy. And then we will click twice here, just once actually. I click once, press and hold Alt, so I can make a copy like this. So I got this first icon, right? Then I will duplicate, Control D, so I will have exactly the same thing. This one here I will click twice, then twice. As you can see, I am in the vector deep, in the vector element. I will zoom in I will click and drag like this, and then I will move. Oops, not possible yet. I will cut, Control X. Now I will paste, Control V. Oops, didn't work right. Yes, we got to figure out the best way to do that. So let's see. Okay, we got this vector. Let me try to move like this, selecting and moving. No, not working. Let me try to remember what I did. Let's see, I will press P for pen. Then I will, as you can see, I can keep moving and having things like this. Let me try to connect these 2 points. Press ESC, click twice. I will try to cut again, Control X. I will click out, Control V. See, now it worked. So I have 2 separate parts. Okay. Now I will move like this, those separate parts. And here I can let it just like this. And I can also delete, ESC or click twice out, Control V. So see, we got this part here, but I don't want to have this little element here. So Control X, I want to have inside of this bell, inside of this vector. So I can go to the layer panel, select the vector one, Control V here inside of the vector. So we have this possibility of moving things around. So when I click out, this is the same elements I can drag around. And when I click twice, I have this freedom of moving things because even they are separate, but they are part of the same thing. Okay. Okay. The other thing I did, we have 2 different states. This one is like 32 opacity, and this one 100% opacity. Okay. So let's go this way. I select not only this bell, but this auto layout, and then I change this layer opacity 32. So I have all that I need for this icon, and the logic, it can be applied to the other icons too. So I'm gonna play this way, and then we can change. We have the freedom to change the way we want. I select this first one, component, then the second one, component, select both of them, combine as variant. So I have this icon over here. I can come here, click twice, and then I will name things properly. The nomenclature is important. So icon, alarm, cool. Now I want to have a switch on, off, actually off and on. So property, I'm gonna call, let's see exactly what I did here. And selected, on, off, okay. So I'm gonna click twice here. I'm gonna type selected. So this left hand is gonna be called off. We can go capital letter or not, and this one on. So we got on and off. And now I click twice in whatever one. Press and hold Alt, drag out. So I have this instance. This one is the master component. This one here is the instance, and I can switch on, off, on, off. And as you can see, this little element is being modified. See, exactly the way that we did. And the logic can be applied to all the icons. We can do little changes, and we are going to do them right now. So the alarm is done. I can delete this instance. Now I will drag the world clock one. Then I press Ctrl D, and I come here and I can make the change that I want. Clicking twice, 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 twice. Let's see if I can, how I can move things. It's a little tricky because see, we do this way, but the shape it gets not the way that we want. So what we can do, let's think a little. Well, see, come with me. I will zoom in first, then I will select here, press and hold shift. So I can select like this and then like this. So now I have all those anchors selected. I can cut, click twice out, paste. And as you can see, it's not working properly. That happens sometimes. So I will just leave like this and I will draw new elements. So I will make something like this. Let me zoom in a little to see this shape. Then I will press P for pen. Oops, I can't be so closer. So something like this and this. Yes, we don't need to go like exactly the same way. Now we need to increase this thickness, something like this. Now I open it here. I want to have this round one, and this one is going to be round too, so the two ends will be round. Then I can come here and make this part a little round. So now, yeah, I have what I need. So this first position to be the same, and then it's easier to, for example, I select this shape, press hit enter, and then I have the freedom to change the way that I want. So I can do many kinds of adjustments. Yeah, you decide the position that you want to have. All right. Now we need to bring things inside. We can apply some color just to see what we are doing and the limitations that we have and the shape, and so yeah. So I'm gonna go with this one. Okay, it has to be white. I will transform it into a, not line, but I want to press shift Control O. All right, now I don't have this line anymore. I have a shape, a stroke. So I got my pointers, but I still have the freedom. So if I need to change something, I can click twice and I can enter the edit mode and something. Okay, cool. Now I have to place it inside. So like I will cut, and like I showed you before, I select this clock, select vector, and I paste in. And as you can see, we just have our pointers just like this. If that's needed, like I showed you before, we can select, we can do adjustments. You can work really carefully to get things done the way that they should be. Normally, I like to say that we are doing this tutorial. We don't have a lot of time, because the matter here is to speed up, so it's possible to enjoy more the time that we have together. But in your case, after you finish all the things that I'm showing you, you have time to do tweaks here, tweaks there, and then get things done the best way. Okay, cool. So we got the next one, this word clock. Now we need to change to we can hide this color, not even remove, but just hide it enough. And then this pass through, it's 32. We should go with 100%. We can select both of them. Make sure to select all the elements, and then we can click here, open this drop down, and rather than creating one by one, we can go here and then just to select the multiple components. So multiple components, and now we did the two of them. We select and we combine as variants. So exactly the way we did with this first one. Let's increase just a little bit, just for a matter of organization, and we can, oops, can move things like this. It's not necessary, but yeah. All right, so now we need to name properly. So let's go with / in world clock. All right, and then we can already replace, because here those icons, they aren't components, they are just elements. So I will press and hold Alt, then I will drag and drop like this, and as you can see, it's purple, and I can switch. In this case, I will drag out, so see, it's not a component, it's just element auto layout with things inside. So I don't want to use this anymore, so I can delete, and I will just move and place it here and remove this one. Now if I select just once, I can change like this, and we can see our animation working like this. Okay, and the world clock as well, I can move in, remove this one, and I can test what I did. But see, we didn't finish yet, we need to to work a little more. So property, we called here selected, so we are going to go exactly the same, selected, and we got off and on. So off, on, and then when we come here to the instance, we can change on off. As you can see, it's not well worked, so we can come back to the master component. We can select all the elements and move them a little, and now we can jump back to the instance and test, and it's a little better now. It can work even more, but like I told you, you alone in your room, in your corner, office, whatever, you have a lot of time to get things done, to do whatever you want, you need. This is just some explanation, so you can do better with your time. And now stopwatch, let's see what I did. I diminished this central part, and also this part here, less width, less height, and this little part here. So let's do exactly the same. We are about to finish this tutorial. We just will, oops, be a little more here. Yeah, just like this, and then Control D to duplicate. Okay, cool. Here 100% and not 32. I zoom in, click twice here, twice again, zoom in a little more. I select and I hit my right arrow on my keyboard twice here too. Hit my down arrow like this, and I select it here, and I move, oops, carefully. I can press and hold Shift to help me, so I can go to the right position in this 45 angle. Yeah, now it's pretty okay to test, so I can select both of them and then create multiple components, combine as variant. I will use this slash stop small caps stop watch selected here, and then this first one, it's gonna be off, and this one on. Press and hold Alt and move and drop it here remove the older one, and test. Select on, off, on, off. See, it's pretty cool. Yeah, like it. Okay, the last one, let's see what we did. So the sand is up here, and now it has to be down here. Top, bottom. Okay. Select this one, which is not a component yet. Duplicate, zoom in, 100% opacity. Click twice again. So we got this little element. I will cut, zoom out, click twice, out, Control V, I paste inside. They are now separate elements, so I will flip upside down 90%. So I will move down. Yeah, and I got what I need. So component one, component, combine as variant, icon, and then timer, small caps. Let's solve the conflict. Selected off, on. Cool. Just finish it. You can drag and replace. And now we are all set. We can even, for example, select both of them. Let's see. Select, unselect. This one. Yeah. Unselect. Okay. When they are in the same variant, same state, they are mixed. Timer, stopwatch, work clock. I was about to say a thing, but not going to work. No matter. Timer, yeah, no matter. Okay, so now we got what we need, right? Exactly like this. In this second part, we can join all the components we did and combine as a new variant. So come with me. We have this. It's not necessary, but we can do that. I just want to show you how we can make nested components. Not going so deep, but we can work a little more. I will duplicate like this, and then Control D and D again. Now this one will be selected, the first one unselected, the third one selected, first one unselected, the last one selected, the first one unselected, right? They aren't component yet, but I will transform all of them into components. So create multiple components, and I'll combine as variants. And now I can go like, let me see what I did here. I called menu. I have one thing here that is not being used, but I called menu. Menu. That can be small caps. So this one I can call, rather than calling default, I can call alarm. For example, clock or world clock, you decide. Stopwatch. And timer, because that can be easier to change. So let me show you what I want to do. For example, if I had this component like this instance, I can just come here and switch. Like I want to have alarm selected, clock selected, stopwatch selected, and I can also come back to the master component, can go to settings and I can change the order. For example, the alarm should be the first one. So I have this draggable icon. I can move like this. Second one, world clock, or just clock as we name it. Then we got stopwatch and finally timer. So when I go to the instance right now, I have the right order. So alarm, clock, stopwatch, and finally timer. I can work this way, or I can, for example, have my own set. So I will make a auto layout calling icons, for example. So yeah, let's see the space between them. Don't remember, but whatever. Yeah, I can increase just for a matter of testing. Then here we will type auto, so they will be accommodated using the right space. Okay, and now I can replace. So the importance of naming things properly. So stopwatch, actually word clock. This one is going to be stopwatch, and the last one is going to be timer. Okay, and the states, the variants, all of them will be off. Just the first one is going to be on. So you can work like this, like switching this way. That can be faster, or even you can go one by one and change. Oh, I want to activate this one, I want to enable this one, I want to enable this one. You decide the way you prefer. I'm gonna go with this one because it's easier. I have no wrong way of setting things. I'm constraining what the designers that they are going to use this design system, they will have constraints. It's important. So in this case, it's possible to select just one state per screen. So there is no wrong possibility of selecting things that they want to. Yeah, this is the way. Okay, so now we got all that we need. I can copy this. I can even delete this one. I can then replace here. So I will delete, select this rectangle. I'm gonna call background, just for a matter of organization. Background, and then I'm gonna copy inside. Not the way I expected. I will select both of them, centralize like these and like these, and I can even group, and I can call menu. Yeah, align by the bottom. And this little element, this indicator, I should or I could paste inside of this group and align in this bottom part. And I can replace, so I got this group, I can remove all the other elements. They aren't components yet. Select this frame and paste. Now I want to have a little animation here. For this reason, I didn't design this indicator inside of these components because I want to have a separate animation. Yeah, you will see in a few minutes. But see what I did, the constraints I told you before. I entered the menu, but I don't have this. I just want to select like this. I have the possibility, but I can select like this and just switch, just change. Cool. Now I will paste here. Click once or twice to enter this group, and then I go to stopwatch and I move this little indicator like this. Okay, can copy from here, for instance, paste in this part, and finally moving the indicator to the last icon. So as you can see, we got this now, and we need to change the state selected. So we got all that we need Okay. I'm gonna create a frame here. I have this sandbox. This is a area of test, so I can test things like this. You can create two, just like I did. I'm gonna make a auto layout. I'm gonna call icons, for example. This one I will select, click in once, view container for all of them, because if we increase the size of the auto layout, things are going to be accommodated inside. Here it doesn't work. Yeah, just like this, it's okay. And yeah, I will press A or F. So we have this frame. The color, I recommend you to use some darker color. Call components. And now you got all the components well aligned, well documented, so all designers can see what was done, easy to understand. And like I told you before, we can have some section to promote, to stimulate our sandbox, place where the team, designers, developers, they can play in this sandbox. So they are allowed to drag and drop things and to test them, right? So many people, they like to organize. For me, organization is like it's like gold, a awesome rule, a golden rule. Okay, so sandbox. Oh, I want to test something. I can like drag and drop here, and it's like allowed to play around. I can, for example, I want to detach from the master component, and now I can like move things around like this, like this. I can play the way I want, have no restrictions. Yeah, see, I can messy around, playing with things. I can change names, test the components, see how things work, and so yeah. Then I can reset if needed. See, reset all changes. I can come here, reset all changes. Can increase the size if I want. Then I can reset size. See, reset all changes. And here too, for example, if that's needed, I can organize in different ways. Like, let's suppose that it's a better idea to have the icons with a different order. Of course, I can create a new auto layout. Let's suppose that the application will need to have different order. So yeah, we can have this section to play around. Let's suppose that we are creating two larger screens. We can come here and we have this flexibility. Thinking about responsiveness. Yeah, why not? See? So this sandbox, let me replace this name. Sandbox. Yeah, a lot of flexibility, right? Cool. So I think that you got the point. Now it's time to do the interactions, okay? So what we need to go from this alarm frame page to the next one. So yeah, you select this component here and then just connect. And as you can see, I did the connection. And like I told you before, Figma got some updates, so I'm not seeing anymore this configuration panel over here. So it's straight in the points that I was connecting. So it's easier, right? It's more contextual. Smart Animate, just like this. And let's connect this stopwatch one, Smart Animate, timer one, Smart Animate. This page, I want to come back to alarm, Smart Animate, because Figma understands what I want. Just connect things. It's not a big deal, not a rocket science. It's pretty easier to do. And you know that maybe better than I do. Okay, connect here, and then timer here. Let me scroll a little horizontally. First screen, second, third, yeah. Okay, now it's time to test what we did. I'm gonna call menu, and let's play. Another change, like I was telling you, Figma got this update, so it's possible now, while I see my designs, my prototype, I can see also this screen. So let's test. See, all the icons, they have their interaction. And also this little indicator, like I told you, I designed it separate, and I'm using Smart Animate. So when I go from timer to alarm page, the indicator will follow me. See, where I click, the indicator follows me. Okay, so this is our tutorial. I really appreciated your companion, and I enjoyed doing this tutorial. Hope to see you in the next one. I took a little longer to record this new one. I was in a rhythm, like recording in each 3 days, 4 days, at most 1 week, but I changed my work. I'm working in a new company and doing some freelance, and I don't have more a little of time. I'm not complaining or crying here like a baby. I'm just telling you, stay tuned, because I didn't stop producing tutorials. I just needed to organize a little better my calendar. But I'm planning on to do even more tutorials I was doing before. So thank you for watching, and I see you in the next one. Bye bye.